Just looking at the camera, I feel weird. Not much of a hoodie guy, boys, but it's fucking cold in England right now. But anyway, this video, I just wanted to explain like my thoughts on high ticket closing and why I never wanted to be a high ticket closer, why I didn't really advise that so much. It's still, you know, it's a great opportunity. I'm sure you've heard about high ticket closing because everyone's talking about this right now. But I think people exaggerate a little bit about high ticket closing and how great it is. As you guys know, I've been in sales for a long time now. Started in 2019 doing door-to-door sales. I've been in the sales industry for a while. I got into high ticket appointment setting. I've been doing for a couple of years. I've been in this space a while, and then only recently is everyone being absolutely mouthing off about closing, about how great it is, which to be honest, it is good. High ticket closing is great. It's a great opportunity to make money. So is appointment setting. I think a lot of people get a very false idea that appointment setting is here and then high ticket closing is here, when in reality I put them both on the same level. Like, they're both commission based jobs. Both the appointment setters and the closers, they're both working together. Typically the closer might get a bit more commission than the setter, but just because the closer might get more commission doesn't necessarily mean that closing is overall more profitable than appointment setting. At the end of the day, they are both commission based jobs. There is savages in setting, there is savages in closers. I know appointment setters that are making 40k a month. I know closers that are making 40k a month. So to say that closing is like a step above appointment setting, I just don't think is true. One thing that has been annoying me recently as well is I've had a lot of guys reach out messaging me saying, I want to get into appointment setting. Well, I want to get into closing, but I've been told I need to get into appointment setting first, and I've been following your content. You seem to be the best guy about appointment setting, blah blah blah. Well, one thing that I want to say, boys, is like, this makes no sense to me. I don't know why people are saying that you need to get into appointment setting before closing, because these are very different job roles. They're very different. Like, just because you're good at appointment setting doesn't mean you're going to be good at closing, and vice versa. To me, that's bullshit. I think people just want to get more money out of you from more courses or something like that, but to me, it doesn't make sense. If you are watching this video and that sounds like you want to get into closing, but you feel like you have to get into appointment setting first, then, you know, again, I'm going to go against that narrative. I don't believe that's the case. As long as you get your training and as long as you are good at closing, then I don't see a problem of going straight into closing. Anyway, when it comes to appointment setting versus closing, I'm strongly prefer appointment setting, and I'll tell you why. My journey, if you don't know, I started in door-to-door sales, got into remote appointment setting, and then transitioned from appointment setter to business owner. Oh, but bro, like, how come you didn't get into closing? How come you didn't go from setter to closer and then to business owner? Like, again, I think setting and closing are very much on the same level, and the reason why I don't like closing is because, in my opinion, it is basically just a glorified 9 to 5. It's a glorified 9 to 5. With appointment setting, you go from 9 to 5 to having a remote work, like freedom. Not just remote work, but like you've got actual freedom there. Remote work means working from home. That's closing. Great. But you've still got to be in the office at your desk ready for sales calls all day. It literally feels like a 9 to 5. And I say this from experience in the sense of I do closing for my own business now. And when I've got calls all day, I feel like I'm just back. I feel like I've got a 9 to 5, even though I'm working for myself. So when I've got calls all day, I literally just feel like an NPC. And with appointment setting, it's like you've literally got freedom to do the work from anywhere. You can be at the beach. What I would do all the time is, as an appointment setter, I'll go to the local country park, just sit on the bench and just do my appointment setting in nature. I was chilling. But as a closer, you can't do that because you have to be at home in the office ready to take these calls. When it comes to the earning difference, like, the earning difference is not crazy. It's like there's setters that make more than closers. There's closers that make more than setters. Average levels, yes, closing is slightly more. Average appointment setters are around 5k a month. Average closers are around 6, 7, 8k a month. But that small difference in average earnings, that is literally not going to affect your life at all. The difference from 5k a month to 7k a month, there's no difference. Your life is going to be the exact same. You're going to have the same car, the same house, but now you've got less freedom because you've got to be in the office all day. Again, this is my opinions. This is why I wouldn't do closing. Closing is still great if you're a savage and you are looking to just stack as much cash and as much skills as possible whilst you are young. Then closing is incredible. But for me personally, I already have a great foundation of sales skills. I've been doing sales for a long time. I don't need to do closing to build those skills, especially when I'm closing for myself in my own business. Me personally, if I couldn't have the business and I had to do something else, I couldn't run my own business, I would not go to closing. I would 100 million% go back to appointment setting. Now, closing, I've done closing for my own business. And I've also done some closing for my clients if necessary. Like, I try not to at all. Since I run a growth agency where I help add an extra 20k a month to agency owners' revenue, then sometimes if their sales skills are terrible, or they don't have a closer, or they're just dead at closing, or maybe they're on holiday, then sometimes, yes, I will take sales calls for my clients just because, you know, it's a win-win. I usually have some sort of revenue share in there anyway. But ideally, yeah, I really don't like closing for other people's businesses. I don't mind closing for my business because it's literally my business. It helps me establish a good relationship with my clients. But closing for other people's businesses, that's just a bit long to me. Personally, it's just long. I wouldn't do it. Overall though, in conclusion, closing is still a great opportunity. Obviously, everyone's talking about this right now. It's getting a little bit to a point where people are exaggerating a bit. Like, oh, this is the dream. It's not, closing is not the dream. It's just a glorified, well-paying 9 to 5. Well-paying, great. Basically just a 9 to 5 still. Closing's great. If that's for you, then great. I don't train closers or anything like that, but there is a book that you absolutely must read if you're looking to get into closing called The New Model of Selling. Bang a book. It's probably gonna teach you a lot more than a lot of these sales coaches are gonna teach you about closing anyway, because I feel like a lot of these sales coaches probably don't even know what they're talking about at this point. Like the market, the higher ticket space is getting like inflated to the point where like there's so many random guys talking about it now that I've probably got no credibility. So just be careful who you buy your training from. Guy called Jeremy Miner, read his book, follow him on YouTube, and I think he does sales training as well. So if you're gonna get sales training, then Jeremy Miner is probably the guy that I would suggest for you to go through. Yeah, but apart from that, boys, just wanted to make this video because I get so many people asking me about closing. I want to get into closing. I want to get into appointment setting first. Wanted to make this video. That's my thoughts on high ticket closing. So what I think like the perfect journey, like if I was to go, well, I think my journey is kind of the perfect journey where it's like I got into sales, then I got into remote setting to like get that freedom aspect, because when people want to start making money online, it's typically because they want more freedom, which to me, that's where appointment setting is perfect. So 9 to 5, appointment setup, business owner, I think that is like the best like course of action, but that is for guys that are like me. If you are just, again, locked in on your grind, you've got no interest in building a business, you just want to make as much money as possible in the next 3 years from just grinding away, then you're probably going to crush it in closing anyway. You've got the right mindset. You're probably going to go far. Go for it, bro. And if you've got any questions, I'm more than happy to help. Anyway, boys, I hope this video helped. Hope you took something from this video. Make sure to subscribe if you want more content like this. Hit the like button. As always, boys, keep grinding.